sinful or acting upon the desire, could you potentially go to hell for it?
Does it automatically? I mean, it's not. So it's a sin. Will it automatically send you to hell? It's not. So it's not an unforgivable sin, I would say.
Yeah, I don't believe it's an unforgivable sin. But let's say, for instance, I don't know, a gay couple, they're married, they're together. They say they're Christians. They're constantly giving into that desire of sexual intercourse, and they constantly live in that life of sin. Do they have salvation?
Okay, so if they know it's sin and they're struggling with it, right? They're practicing it, but they know it's sin. It's hard because I would say that they're recognizing it as sin and they're having a hard time repenting from it. It's hard to say. It's hard to. I don't like putting judgment on people because I have sins that are hard to, like, I'm still trying to shake, right? And so it's by God's grace, right, that every day that I don't commit those sins is, God's grace in my life. But sometimes I'm tempted to do it, and then sometimes I may fall in. And so I don't know to what extent, like, Christians that are homosexual and they understand that it is against God's will and maybe they don't want to practice it, but it's tough. I can imagine.
Point of order, moderator. Moderator, point of order.
Just wait a minute. Is there same-sex marriage is forbidden?
Same-sex marriage?
Mm-hmm.
It just tells men not to lie with men and women to lie with women. That's abomination to God.
So me using that term, saying man lying with a man or woman lying with a woman is an abomination to God.
Yeah.
Megatron views this differently. Megatron's not saying it's about same-sex relations. It's about an older man being with a younger man. I don't find that.
That'll just be Megatron's interpretation, because I don't even think that the Catholic Church actually holds that position. So that'd be just kind of his personal position that he believes.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask you for.
Yeah, so it might be just Art's personal conviction on how he understands the passage. Like if somebody's acting me, I would say, yeah, no, it's just man, woman. And that's how.
Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask Narges if she could continue reading the Thelema document. Maybe in another room, doesn't have to be here. I don't want to interrupt your fascinating conversation about homosexuality.
To finish up some paperwork, I've applied for something, so I wanted to ask you, Jason, how do you interpret the Sodom and Gomorrah? I will read for you the immorality of Sodom and Gomorrah. How would you interpret that, mate? If you don't mind.
Yeah. So Sodom and Gomorrah, I would say it's a multitude of sins they were doing. It wasn't just man laying with man. I would kind of agree with Bart on this one, where it's the hospitality of because the angels go there to see who's righteous, and they're treating the angels like dirt, right? And so Lot is the only one that takes them in and serves them, right? And so that is the demonstration of righteousness, that he is showing hospitality to these angels. So I would agree that it has to do with hospitality more so, but it's because the people are sinful, right? They're practicing all kinds of sin. It ain't just sodomy. God said they're just practicing all kinds of sins. Right, he's going.
That's the interpretation I got. That it was, a lot of sinful things going on at that time.
Mm-hmm. So
Megatron's interpretation is different to mine.
Mm-hmm.
interpretation was something. We know it was something. I don't know what his interpretation was. Maybe I can't remember what he said.
Well, he knows the hospitality, right? They are practicing on hospitality, right, against people that are coming from Sodom. So if you weren't from Sodom and you entered into the city, they were treating you like trash, right? And so they weren't demonstrating, hospitality to foreigners that were coming into the land. They were just, stealing, whether they were stealing from them or abusing them in some.
Hello? Hello?
Bitch, you're literally shit skin. You guys don't even wash your ass. Don't talk about it. Yeah, you don't even wash your ass with water, you dusty ass bitch. Talking about shit skin. There's shit in your ass. Anyways. Shut the fuck up. And they still smell better than you, dusty ass, non-seasoned ass bitch. You burning chicken eating ass bitch. Shut the fuck up. Anyway. Stop pressure ass bitch. Bro, this guy is literally on social security, $1,000 a month, bitch. On that Section 8, talking about shit skin over here. Shut up. Actually, well, that's because you're the equivalent. Like, you're like our disabled vets over here, and then there's fucking up the heads. Like, literally. Where's my packet? For example, I'm holding a prize-winning champion of a racist breed of dog that I specifically chose for their being racist. But I guarantee you it costs more than you earn as well. So, anyways, from my conclusion, I don't need to say anything. I'm not going to press this again. I feel like I'm has too much. I feel like M has too much holdover on this Diego person. And I don't fuck with that shit. Anyway, probably. Anyway, I just don't. Once you're not in here, maybe we can talk to him without you in here. Yeah. Let the tranny lick your ear, Diego. If that's gonna get him to push away, oh my god, this white man is thinking that a tranny's that tells more about him than anything. If that's what it's gonna be. That's what you've been doing too. You're talking about us. You've been like a devil in his fucking ear, don't do this. Shut the fuck up. You want to be picked so bad. You're fucking gay. You want Diego so bad. Bitch, why wouldn't you want your guy to be with a girl? Why do you want to gatekeep him? Like that. I don't understand. Bitch, you go for high school bitches. You go for underage guys, okay? You fucking pedo, you little white pedo. Yeah, Jeffrey Epstein. Bitch, you are the fucking co-founder of that. This is literally elementary school. We're 30 years younger than you. Of course we'll be out. Compared to your old ass. You're not old or wise, bitch. When they say with age comes wisdom, bitch, where's yours? With age comes wrinkles. That's all that you have. Anyway. Bitch, you cut off his dick to cut off your ass. You want to cut off your ass? Wait, now, why am I catching strings again? Why am I catching strings? No, my bad. You want to
people. You're probably the ugly trailer park. He's a disformed inbred bitch. That's what he is, man. You're trying and a shit skin bitch. He loves trying.
All you say is trying. You want to be one so bad. You want to be a bitch so bad with Diego. Shut
Bitch. Anyway, that's right. I'm actually continuously rejected any chance of meeting Diego, you fucking dumb bitches. Oh, wait, Diego. Wait, what? What is he trying to say? Diego, what the fuck?
Why did Diego get so straight?
Yes. Amazing. Are you shit skins done yet? Why don't you tell me where you're fucking welcome? Why are you guarding him? Why don't you fucking Do you not have a wife? I personally just hate shit skins. No, do you not have a wife, bitch? People are destroying. Oh, stupid ass. And you're all gonna. Oh my god, this guy doesn't have a wife. He wants to fight. The Chinese guys, oh my god. The hoe with a fucking 50 body plus body count is gonna, also.
Talking about your mom like that.
What's your body do for? Literally, he's talking about his sisters and his mom. She's a whore around. She's a fucking. You sound like you pay for a sex. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. It looks like you fucking untied that bitch. You're fucking in that bitch. Another tranny. Your mom's a tranny. You stupid fucking bitch. Shut the fuck up. Pretty stupid fucking ugly. Bitch, you sound heavy. You're the heaviness of your voice. Shut your tranny. Is this your tranny? Wait, who muted you? That's amazing. There's no way Diego's Diego. Why are you muting him? I'm trying to go kill yourself. No, bitch, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Go shoot up a school. That's what the trannies do. Bitch, that's your people. What the fuck? That's your people. That's all I do, bitch. This guy is not real. Fucking bitch. All trannies. What? All you say? No, they're all fucking white people, bro. That's right. They've all been trannies. No, I don't think so. You claim trannies as your own. What? You didn't claim white trannies as your own. Bro, that's not funny. I'm not having fun. I'm just in 100. Yeah, we'll leave then, nigga. No, bitch, make me. Okay. Because Diego's not coming out. Nigga, I'm having fun here, so I'll go. Well, I'm not an N-word, so it doesn't bother me. You're acting like you stupid. Act like one. I think you're acting like one. That's okay. Trannies and niggas. I tried to tell him that, but he does not want to listen. That's amazing. So, what's it next gonna be? Which shitskin's gonna mic up? Oh, anyway. He's pushing 70. He's pushing. He's in the fucking grade. That's right. He's pushing 70. Looks like he's fucking 90. Old milk. Oh, right. Ass milk, bitch. That's what you are. That's how you age, bitch. Remember that. Remember that. Our skin protects us from the sun, bitch. The sun fucking hates you, bitch. You walk in getting sunburned, bitch, every single time. Shut up. Oh, daddy. Bitch, I don't want to speak to a bitch that's scared of the sun, bitch. Put on that fucking sunscreen, ho. Shut up. The fucking nigger lovers. The nigger lovers on the tracks. That's nice. Oh, yeah, because Jesus didn't create black people, right? Jesus didn't create them. Oh, okay. Anyways, Diego. Okay. Diego. Where are Diego? Yeah, where are Diego, bitch? I'm not calling you a Diego. Are you there? Diego. Oh my god, Diego. Nora beat you. Oh my gosh. Nora what? She needs him. She's a psychotic whore, bro. You wish, bitch. She's more sane. The last guy she was attached to. She doesn't get attached to guys easily for all the years that I've been.
You're just mad she didn't want you. She didn't want you. Get over it. Get over it. Diego doesn't want you.
She's a bad bitch. You didn't get like shit yet?
You got rejected.
You got rejected after you. Oh, is that why you have racism embedded in you? Because you're like, he trained his dog to sniff out black dick, so. You're fuck? Why do you think she never settled down? That's why he had to get it. Wait, Diego, what did you say? I said, why do you think she never settled down? Why do I think she never settled down? Yeah, like you're 40 and I'm like, yeah. Are you being serious? There's a lot of reasons why that could be, but it's not. It's not because she gets. She was married before, so what are you talking about? She didn't settle down. She was married for years. What are you
No, I don't see how that correlates.
Are you stupid? Well, it's not. She was married. I think what he's trying to say is that, like, the purpose of marriage is for procreating. There's no other benefit for
Yeah,
men.
so that's not.
How do you know she didn't try? You don't know that she didn't try.
She could not.
I mean, maybe you do know. I don't know, but you know.
That's actually such a stupid argument, man. People can't.
Okay. I don't. If she didn't try, then it's her prerogative not to try. But the thing is, the guy that she was married to probably did. What if a guy did that? What if she was a second wife of somebody and she did put up with it? No. What if he was a second? What if he was? She was a second wife. So what if he didn't want kids? What if it was his decision? Then what? Then what, Diego? That makes sense. Diego, what if it's at the end of the day, it's a man's decision. Everybody knows that she was a second wife. That's not. You're not breaking any news here. Well, if she was a second, that's what I'm saying. What if it was not? The decision wasn't in her hands. Unfortunately. That's good. No, of course. So you can explain to us your dogs. Open your ass. I'll stop on your throat. Just a second. Hey, Jules, how are you? This is Instagram fire. This thing multiply. I love your drip, Jules. Thank you very much. They really are the one. Did you move up? Huh? Sorry. And do you not like other people in your rooms? No, aside from what you're comfortable with, or I'm actually known as the people say I undermod, not that I overmod. Oh, okay. But what I'm saying is, like, why is this M person speaking for you? Oh, I'm not speaking on this one.
Yeah, you are. You're like his booty, like, side chick. Like,
What is it that I've said so far? Here we go.
you're just gatekeeping him. Like, you're speaking for him.
Like, we didn't even get a chance to get one word in with you. But what is it that's?
I don't know. You talk too much. You talk way too much.
It must be very difficult.
What?
It must be very difficult for you. Why would that be difficult? If we're directing our questions to Diego and you're responding to the bitch, you're responding for him. You don't know how much. You literate bitch. Shut the fuck up. That's probably that no school, that high school dropout shit, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Like, all the white kids be on and then they start lying. That immigrants are taking their jobs, bitch. Shut the fuck up. Military retirement. Imagine this. The right country needed to import fucking steel doctors from my country's to plasma. Shut the fuck up. You can never be here for purposes. You dumb bitch. You guys are dumb and lazy. Yeah. Anyways, Diego. What else you got? So what is it that I said? Diego. So your response to my question was she did settle down? Is that the answer? That's your response? And that is. That she did. It wasn't like she didn't settle down. Obviously, she had to settle down or she was married. She apologized. Right? Hang on a second. Yeah.
Get a part.
So why do you think Diego was so upset? I mean, you know, he died pretty recently. I think it was 2021 when he passed away.
Cash, come on.
So
Wait, is he what? Is Evans Diaz?
I miss White, bro. He wants to keep Diego for himself or something. Like he doesn't want it. I don't know what he's
Just talking shit about Muslims, talking shit about you dirty ass bitch. Bitch, shut the fuck up. Your mom. These nuts, bitch. These nuts in your mouth.
She's a dramatic.
Yeah, you're gay as fuck, bitch. And he's the only thing in his vocabulary.
That's right. I mean, sometimes
people are making up their actor, right? So it might not be anger that you agree with, but you don't really know what that person is fully talking about. Like I've heard some of the pushback from Benjamin for a long time, so I kind of get what his is. I've heard Victoria a long time, and you may disagree with people saying unfounded might be a little unfair because that's,
But
you know what I'm saying? That's,
you just said you're on Clubhouse. It's not like the
Yeah, someone took over my
it's just a
house.
Clubhouse room.
Someone took over my house before.
Yeah, I guess it's not
It
unfounded.
happened. It happens. Like I had a nerd room. Somebody took it over. And you know, I was upset for a little bit, and then I was like, "What are you gonna do?" I didn't turn my own. I did another. You know, did it all over again. It's like that's what happens sometimes when you have something that a lot of people want to do. People are going to try to take it. It's just, and it's unfortunate, but that's what happens. And it's like, I just, you know, what am I going to sit there and cry all day about it? No, I'm like, it's just, yeah. To me,
I won't use that word unfounded because it is pretty stringent. Yeah, I guess it's unfounded to me, but that you can. This is such a good platform. Push a button, make a new room, congregate there. It's okay.
you can go to Enigma's room. What up, Enigma?
Hey, nobody comes to my room, and I think it's because I laid all my cards out on the table, and I don't think Thea's really want to talk to me anymore. So I'm hunting other people now for my dopamine fix.
Nice. Well, maybe we are the hunted, so here we are.
Yeah, I've hunted you down.
Wasn't hard. We hunted Uncle Steve down. So it all works.
May I ask, because it's my birthday today, not my actual birthday, my clubhouse birthday.
Yeah, happy Clubhouse.
I've been here 4 years, I've worked it out. But the atheism room, or the house, I should say, who actually owns that?
So that's what the room was about yesterday. Own is an interesting word. So Steve is like the leader of the room, and Alfonso was one of the original people. It was a whole bunch of people, and a lot of them are gone or have been kicked out. And that's what some of the history that, well, Steve was giving his side of that history, and people were giving him pushback yesterday. The profile there at the top of the page, the link is a replay of it. So that's kind of what the interview, it was a little bit about Steve and about, you know, a lot of pushback and criticism of his stuff came from people when we opened it up at the end. And, you know, we get both sides of that story a little bit. So, but it's really Steve who runs it clearly.
So my take on it was he wanted accountability. If people are going to open rooms. And I think that in Steve's defense, he's had people who he's wanted to interview. They have been flaky. To have a room and to run a room, you have to be consistent. You really do. You have to, you know, you can't be somebody that is just like, oh, well, willy-nilly and just have people file in. Like, I mean, you can, but not to have a room be, you know, fully full of people all the time. It really needs, like, when I come on to Clubhouse, I know at least once a day, perhaps, you know, sometimes you take days off, you're going to have a room. You know, if it's for an hour, for, you know, 10 hours, it's still, you know, it's kind of like, I know that it's going to be here. And that's the kind of thing I think that he was looking for when he was like, you know, you want a room, just make sure it's consistent and not just like, you know, fun and, you know, and have accountability to the room as well. So that was my take. It may be different than how someone else read it, but that's how I read it.
Yeah. Someone put there in the chat, Joanna, to what we were talking about, criticism of Steve is not unfounded. That wasn't the point. Criticism of Steve is definitely founded. But when we say people's emotions are unfounded is what I was talking about. So it's kind of readjusting the point there. And it's a small critique. I mean, it's just, you gotta watch what you say. What you think, you know, of people's stuff is different than if we're trying to guess that we know what's in there. I say that all the time when people come in these rooms and they're always talking about he's lying. It's like, bro, like, unless you go for an absolute 100% fact that someone's lying, and even then, it's probably not a good idea to tell someone that they're a liar or that they're lying. Maybe what you just said is a false statement is a little bit better because you don't know the intent. You don't know if they forgot. Like, I don't get why people, well, I do get why people do it, but I just don't think it's the brightest thing to do all the time. It's just straight out accuse somebody of knowing what they were thinking of.
Yeah, I think, and this goes all the way back to communication. I mean, this like nonverbal communication. I think the book is really great. If you call somebody a liar, immediately they're going to be defensive, and you're not going to be able to have a conversation when someone's open, closed, and defensive. There's not an open dialogue there.
GDS pro-lyrical.
So you kind of, if you're going to be accusatory or you're going to have questions, ask them as questions so it opens the dialogue in general. Thank you. I'm talking a lot today. I had a lot to say, but I needed to sit in my feelings and understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling, because I was really actually super annoyed. So I needed a day to sit in that and figure out what was going on with me that I got triggered and I was annoyed. So, thanks.
No doubt. CM Benjamin was doing some Steve roasting. It was classic Benjamin. Benjamin actually, it was more than classic Benjamin. Benjamin was going pretty tough. He was going right for the gills. It was like
today or yesterday?
Yesterday. He didn't talk to Steve today, but Steve, you know, Steve, to his credit, Benjamin, he didn't do what he did the other day when he came in here. He wasn't looking to sling mud. He was just looking to hear it, just kind of be like, I don't know if it changes anything, but you know, I think maybe it changes something because he opened the room right up and started talking about some of those things after. It was talking about who has the keys to the city, who doesn't, blah, blah, blah. So,
yeah, we talked to Steve yesterday in the after party room, and he came in right at the end, right before like me and Benjamin left. And we talked about it. I mean, I did tell him that, that like maybe like a week or so ago, we had a room where we talked about if like Benjamin had gone too far, and he asked regarding what mainly, and I was like probably like I think you said about the knee pads, Joe was pretty far, or like just a little bit of distasteful or something, and I don't know, I forgot what he said, but then I said at least in the profile interview. That I was like, yeah. I said that there, since he knew who was coming on stage and asking questions, he had to be a little bit more prepared. He had to like expect some of these questions were coming, and a lot of them he kind of heard before. So I was thinking the profile interview wasn't as bad as like I don't know the week before, say.
right. Benjamin, you there?
Let me say it's up to you. Benjamin.
Benjamin, John Kitover. It was complimenting you from the audience, John. Not John Malencraw, the scientist, but John Kitover for Congress is highly, highly appreciative of what you did yesterday with my namesake, Steve Appel. And the fact that John is giving you such a big compliment might be reason for concern. But maybe we'll bring up Mr. Music Man himself, and he can tell you about it.
That man is touched. Like, he tries to do a British accent to mock me, but he sounds Australian. Sorry, that's my opinion.
Is it more like, hello?
Yeah, it's like Van Dyke went to Australia. Hello there, how are you?
Hello, how about a spot of tea?
I'm just saying, one quick bite and...
To Benjamin's credit, Benjamin. He's very consistent with who he is. And sometimes I agree with him, sometimes I don't, but at least he's consistent. And that's the same as Steve. I mean, when people are consistent with who they are, I appreciate that a lot more than people just changing willy-nilly depending on what room they're in. That was a compliment to Benjamin because I don't want him to feel like I don't like him. I do like him.
Yeah, Benjamin's consistently a piece of trash in every room.
I think that's fair, right, Benjamin?
Yeah, that sounds fair.
Sounds about right. I don't know why Music Man doesn't want to come up. I mean,
I don't know.
Music Man.
He was
Oh yeah, you know,
giving all this in the chats. I don't know why he doesn't come up and talk because he was in the chats last night every other second.
So he's fine.
Oh, come up. But I want to hear who this Music Man is.
That's Kitover. John Kitover go crazy.
Oh, it is.
John Congressman of the Year that no one votes for.
Hey, I'm voting. I'm voting for John Kitover for Congress. John, what state are you in?
I'm in Illinois, Chicago.
Illinois.
I'm not. Maybe I'll write you in. My state.
Ha! Well, I am a write-in candidate, and even getting write-in candidate status with the local election clerks in all the counties, it was very difficult. The Illinois State Board of Election transfers all that responsibility onto the candidate and these election clerks and their attorney generals and their election system. And, you know, our budget for our election system annually is $30 million just for the state elections. It doesn't even include the city of Chicago, which is a huge election bureaucracy unto itself. So, anyways, Benjamin, you stuck that knife into Steve yesterday and twisted and twisted and twisted. And I gotta say, Steve sat there. I think you caused Steve a major emotional breakdown yesterday because he had follow-up rooms so sporadically, so schizophrenically. I know he likes to drink tequila and, you know, clink his little Zippo lighter and smoke his cigarettes. But, you know, it's my opinion, Steve has admitted to submitting over 10,000 Social Security disability applications. I think Steve has cost taxpayers many, many millions of dollars and has enriched himself to the tune of over $1 million. And it's just my opinion that when he says I committed fraud running for Congress, Steve himself is projecting his own fraud through Social Security disability applications onto me. It's just my opinion. It's not a fact. It's my opinion.
You could be onto something there, though, John. I'm sorry to say. I don't like to agree with you, but yeah, you could be onto something.
Are you the one that had the Steve is a fraud room? Is that you?
Yeah, that's me.
Like 2 days ago?
Yeah, Steve is the guy who has had rudens about me being a fraud, which I'm not. I didn't forge any signatures. I paid people to go out there and work for my campaign. And some of the signatures that probably some of those people put on my sheet, they're ripping me off. So, you know, to claim that I committed fraud is so ridiculous and obnoxious to me that I fight back when people throw shit at me because I think I'm a talking monkey. And I've seen monkeys in cages pick up their shit and throw it at people at the car wash, you know, unprovoked. And so if you're going to come on here in a public forum and defame, slander, and libel me, I will defame, slander, and libel you. That's the way politics works. Don't attack if you can't, you know, defend yourself. And having run for politics, people will say the worst things ever imaginable about you. The worst. They will just make them up. This is the world we're living in. It is unbelievable what you can get away with. If you don't have the money to sue somebody, you know. Anyways, Benjamin, I salute you, gentlemen, and your atheist movement. I heard somebody recently say they were trying to leave atheism, and I thought that was very funny.
Can I just say hi to Honey Badger in the audience and Rufus?
Absolutely. We're gonna bring them up in a second. Yeah, like I said, John, I always feel on shaky ground if I'm getting a compliment from you, but I appreciate it, and I'm sure Benjamin feels the same. The campaign for you. What's the big election?
It's March 17th, and I am spamming Facebook pages like you can't believe, telling everybody not to vote for Darren LaHood. I do a lot of work for this campaign. I should be getting paid by the campaign just for running. The point is, the point is, I have $100 in my checking account for this campaign. I'm running against a guy that has $10 million. And the thing is, I've accused him of fraud, and he's accused me of fraud. So the point is, this guy is the real fraud. He has created $25 trillion in debt. This guy is funded by every major pharmaceutical corporation. This guy is funded by APEC. I got people on Clown House who hate me to give me the money. So I'm pretty good at what I do on Clown House. But in the real world, I can't, it's like going against a mountain. I mean, you're just ramming your head against a mountain. But this is just my first attempt at Congress. I ran for committee person, and it was the exact same process. You're attacked in the same way, and these lawyers and judges control the whole thing. And that's just the way it is. We live in a judicial, legal, industrial complex where lawyers really do control the world. Nothing happens unless a lawyer signs off and stamps it. And the judicial system is a farce. There's no due process. It's just it's a scheme, it's a scam, it's a racket, and that's the way America is. But it's peaceful. There's no violence. I'm not a violent person. I prefer the legal system as opposed to political violence. I think anybody that engages in political violence is low IQ, because if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword.
There you go. So what's one of your platform? Are you just like kind of run in the shadow of, let's say, Trump policies, or do you have something unique that you're running on?
Yeah, I am a Ron Paul supporter. Vote for Kitover or it's over, or fork it over for Kitover. The point is, I am a libertarian who believes in small government, small problems. We got big government and big problems, and that's what I'm fighting against, trying to liberate and wake the voters up. Most people are not politically engaged at all. They don't know who the representative is. They don't care who they want to watch Netflix. So we have to get more people. We need information warriors. That's really what I'm trying to do, is organize information warriors who are willing to be politically involved in the internet, a platform ecosphere. This is, this is the way everything is going. Bill Gates at WEF said if politicians were using AI, they're going to easily win their campaigns. Go to John Kitover on Instagram and look at my AI videos from Sora. You're like, holy shit, this is amazing. So I'm creating content. I'm creating content right now as we're talking on Sora. Sora AI video is incredibly powerful.
Nice. Benjamin's good to know you create new content right now in Sora.
Yeah, good for you.
It's probably, you know what, I'm gonna celebrate this every day at this time next year.
There you go.
Look at what Hero said.
Hero said, this dude is content free. So post the election, let's just assume, let's go way out on a limb and assume you don't win. What would be next for you?
Well, so the primary is in March. I haven't confirmed whether or not I can be a write-in candidate in the November election for Congress. From what I read, I have up until 7 days prior to the actual election to be a write-in candidate. So my write-in candidacy will not end until the November 7th election. The primary, March 17th, there's only one Republican candidate on the ballot, and there's only one Republican write-in candidate for the ballot, which is John Kitover. You have to be registered and get a receipt from the counties. So this will not end until November. But up until November, I'm going to be creating content, and I'm also going to file with the Chicago Election Commission to run for mayor of Chicago. There's 4 candidates that have filed. I will probably be the fifth candidate.
Can I ask a question? Because I'm a bit stupid when it comes to American politics. But did you say that you were a liberal running for
Libertarian.
Republicans?
No, there's a third party that appears on our ballots called Libertarians. It's the only third party. Everything else is considered independent. So there's only three parties you can vote for. One of them is a lib, which is a libertarian. It actually says it on the ballot, vote for the lib. But everybody chooses Democrat because the Democrats are the most organized out of all the political parties. They're the biggest. They control they control everything. The Democrats in Chicago run everything.
And you know the funny thing is about the Democrats and the Republicans, they're two sides of the same coin. They pretend to be different, but when they're in office, they're exactly the same. Although saying that, you know, Donald Trump is a little bit worse than the rest of them, but yeah, in the UK we have quite a few political parties, but like America, only 2 or 3 of them are even considered, you know, worthwhile to vote for. We even have a really weird party called the Monster and Raving Lunatic Party, which run every year, and it's just a bunch of absolute weirdos, which is quite funny. But yeah, I think we should have like an independent party that you know focuses on the people, for the people, for all the people, not just half of them.
What I find interesting about Chicago, I would not to change the subject or anything, but I just kind of wanted to jump in really quick. It's a very young city. I mean, most people are under 30 that are there, able to live, work, make friends. So I think Chicago is a pretty cool city, and if it's run by Democrats, good for them, because it's a pretty neat city.
It's also very windy there, I hear.
It's a new day. Yes, it is right on the lake.
Yeah, there was a Black Mirror enigma. I don't know if you ever saw that Black Mirror show.
Oh, I love Black Mirror.
Yeah, so they had, I guess they had a couple political ones, and one of them was, I guess, the guy with the puppet was running for something, and it was a really good one. And I guess the guy is from the UK because a lot of it is
Charlie Brooker. Yeah, he's from the UK.
Yeah, so it's super cool to see.
He's a comedian.
Oh,
is that? Yeah, so he's a comedian, but he writes some really thought-provoking stuff, doesn't he?
Yeah, like anybody who hasn't watched Black Mirror, that is the most incredible show.
Do you like the one with the guys riding bikes? They all have to ride bicycles, the stationary bicycles.
Oh yeah.
And then the girl.
You know, to power the 50, yeah.
15 minutes. That is a good one. Yeah, I've watched them over and over again because there's always something new I can find in it, which is interesting.
Did you see the one where the princess was kidnapped and the Prime Minister had to have sex with a pig on TV?
Yes.
That was awful. But I think, you know, John could probably do that, you know, to get candidacy. I don't know.
Would you have sex with a pig, John, to get voters?
So, you know, my criticism of Steve Appel when he says he doesn't care if people fuck their farm animals, to me, that's vulgarity and profanity. I don't really take him seriously. I think he's a joke. You know, Benjamin was saying that, why do you run it like a show? You know, you have Judaized, you know, what this is all about, which is, I mean, in my opinion, I'm the most censored and abused person on this app. I'm kicked from every room. No one has any attention. You know, we have an attention deficit disorder. But the thing is, you choose where you want to go. If Steve has his consistency and his format, as Benjamin said, with his knee pad mod squad, I was dying laughing. See, yesterday was actually the roast of Steve Appel. That's what this app is great at, which is putting together roast shows. To me, it's the best entertainment this app can produce. And if you do watch the actual roasts, if you watch the Rob Reiner roast, where he says you could come over and fuck my son, who ended up murdering him, you might get a tickle in your feather.
It was a little bit of a curveball ending there, John.
Okay. Thanks for sharing.
Sometimes sharing is not caring.
Exactly. Should we have to say everything that's on our mind? Yeah, so I think that when he was talking about farm animals, I don't think he was in the sense saying, like, it's okay. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people take things so seriously. It's like he was just using that as an analogy, like, to be like, you know, it's not going to affect me if you're going to do it. Not that he condones it. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say about it.
Like, I saved my mouse yesterday at my house. I don't think anybody cares if I would have had to kill the mouse or save the mouse. Like, the mouse was in my trash. My dog discovered it. It was on the floor. I moved the trash. It has one of these, you know, you step on the bottom and it props the top open, and there's like a recycle and a trash half. So it's kind of a rectangular long one, but it doesn't look like there's a way to get to the bottom. But sure enough, because that step mechanism, you flip the thing upside down, there's a little hideout that the mouse did. So I flipped the thing upside down. I'm like, what? The mouse isn't here. Sure, if the mouse was hiding in that. And then I put a big bag around it so that I could get it out of the house, take it outside. And you can't just leave a mouse outside your house. It'll find its way right back in. So then I had to drive the mouse, right? Like down the street, like pretty far. I mean, I'm trying to let the mouse out, but then the mouse is stuck in the thing and it won't come out. It's hiding. They can't get the damn thing out. So I'm outside in freezing cold trying to shake this trash to get the mouse out. I'm like, what can I do? Spray it with water? You know, like, so I'm sitting in my car watching, and finally the mouse sticks its head out. I'm like, God damn it, it's still in there. I thought it already got out because it was a hole in the bag. And I'm like, what if it got in my trunk? So I'm having this freaking conniption fit over this little tiny mouse, and thinking maybe I can just like light a match and like put it in there, smoke it out, whatever. All these dumb ideas come to my head. Finally, I just shook the thing at an angle really rapidly after I just got fed up with it. It bounced out and it ran away. I was like, oh, save the mouse. This is a bonus. Does anyone really care if the mouse got killed? Like, it's a mammal. Is anyone really losing their mind if the mouse got killed? Nah, I think people fall on both sides, right? Some people just kill the damn mouse, get it out of their house, whatever. But it is a mammal. And does anyone really, really, by extension, care what's happening to a farm animal when people eat hamburgers like 24/7 around the clock? But in a room, yet if somebody said something like, oh my God, the cow's gonna die. Like, granted, I don't think anybody should be bestiality with animals. I mean, I love animals. I'm vegetarian. I wanted to be a vet. I'm not trying to kill the animals if I don't have to either. But am I really running over to somebody's house to, like, you know, call the EPA or whatever it is? Like, at the end of the day, no. And I kind of think that if people want to have a ridiculous reaction to somebody saying something, that's probably not the fight. When someone's kind of half tongue-in-cheek saying it. If you really had those fights, it would line up with all your other belief systems, and I doubt many people are trying to save their mouse and be vegetarian at the same time who are up in arms.
I love that you say that mouse, because I know we talked about this in Boston. We have mice, and we had the sticky traps that it was stuck on the trap, and there's once it's stuck on the trap, there's nothing you can do, and I had to throw it outside in the cold, and I still think about that mouse to this day. And that's
actually, you can save it
something years ago.
Multiple times.
Yeah, and I still think about that mouse. So it's like,
you can save it from the sticky traps though. So you gotta take like vegetable oil or olive oil and like a pencil, and I've done it multiple times with them, and then. You know, they are going to have a little bit of the sticky residue on their feet or whatever, but hey, it's on them after that. I did my part. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've set them free, got them off that. They're gnawing on the pencil. I've, like, put on work gloves, and my wife is like, why are you doing all this effort to save the mouse? I'm like, I don't have to kill the mouse, so I'm good with it. You know, she's like, yeah, not me. I'm putting that thing in the bag, and it's a wrap. It's like she's beating it over the head with a bush, a broom. I was like, man.
Point of order, moderator, point of order. I got a question about the atheist movement. If I were to say there's a Yiddish expression, Benjamin may know it, it's Alles ish Gott, which is everything is God. Is the statement everything is God the opposite of atheism?
I think that's a wonderful point. I did intend with a ish ending to give a little nod to the ish movement started by Steve Appel, which rhymes with Steve Carell, and both funny intellectual stalwarts, I think, of the movement, of the comedy, of so yes, a little bit of that there, and also just not quite atheist. It's just kind of atheist-ish, you know what I mean? A little ish humor there. Thanks for the comment.
That was very good.
I thank you, Enigma. You have a fresh five if you'd like to take it.
Well, seeing as though that I'm in a room with pro-ish, I'd like to take this time just to put my head inside his asshole and keep it there for the rest of the show. Thank you.
I don't know how to respond to that, but I think based on my interview last night, you heard that that might be right up my alley. And I stress alley really hard on that one, if you know what I mean.
It's the recording. Steve is I'm sorry, we're saying AJ?
No, I have a question about one of the questions about his wingerness. Do you think that was intended to embarrass him? Like, I don't understand what that question was about.
I don't know. I'd have to probably ask Victoria. I mean, like I said, I've jokingly done his impression and said the same thing, so she probably had a hunch. Some of the stuff that he says is very, I would say, jestfully degrading of women. I think he's from maybe that era where that's just how people talked, quote unquote, but he says stuff all the time that is kind of, that kind of humor or whatever. So I'm like, I bet you he's like some swinging dude who's, so I actually thought the same thing. So it might have just been that, but could have been more. I don't know.
Thanks for answering. I was curious that I just not yesterday was not in the mood to have a conversation about it, but I was just curious. Thanks.
Hello, can you hear me?
The great honey badger has entered the room.
Yeah, it was just really quick. I don't know what you guys covered, but earlier in Steve's room today, it was funny because he could not help but mention your room, how awesome you are. Loves Pro, got interviewed, just asking him questions, but he could not help but keep mentioning the haters. There's so many haters that kept imitating my room, and he's like, "Hey, flattery's the best form of a compliment." And he's just like, it was just so funny to listen to him keep bringing up what's going on, and I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, man, I caught the end. He brought me up, and it continued on, and he's like, "We got him on you." Just I was actually supposed to have left at 1 o'clock. I'm still trying to get my son to come downstairs an hour later. I still haven't left the house yet, but I was like, all right, I got an hour. He's like, please come on in tomorrow. I get it. He said that stuff before. I know his take, like any publicity is good publicity, whatever. I think he's right too. I think if people are talking about you for bad reasons, a lot of times, if you're a ratings person, he's not wrong. That stuff's what works, right? Look at every video on Instagram. It's the road kills that get everybody's attention. So he's doing radio 101, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't disagree. I just thought it was funny because, it's not like a huge room. It was a lot of the normal people and some others or whatever, and wasn't really mentioning that. It was just funny because he must have mentioned it 5 times when I was in there.
Right. I was just taking the opportunity to talk with El Normo. So he was sharing his sentiments on the new Minnesota shooting this morning.
Again? Did it again?
It was a fatal shooting of someone who was a citizen.
Looks like 10 cops jumping on top of him and shooting him at the end in typical cowardly fashion. Or what at least appears cowardly fashion from the video. It's kind of hard to defend. What people will do, we already know. You don't need to see the video. All you need to know is a person died and there's 10 cops. So the guy had a small firearm, supposedly, right? So
was it cops or ICE?
It It was nice. So make
Oh yeah, they're punching him in the face repeatedly too. And it was like, what was it?
taking out punching
Yeah,
him
it's fucking
all
insane,
over.
dude.
So
Yeah, and then they like kind of backed off as if it's almost like their reaction when they shot was like, whoa, we shot him.
you see a guy? I mean, I only saw the same video you did, but it looks like the guy like fires another couple rounds at the end. Kind of. Did you see that guy on the left side?
That little ball almost took somebody split it across the street.
That's right.
And then I just was like, fuck, I just left because I'm just like, so just I'll come out, we'll keep talking.
Yeah. I mean, you don't need to hear. You already know. You can just name the people. We know what Norm will say. Like, check. You know what I will say. Check. Like, you already know what everybody's going to say. It could have been 100 people. And the guy could have had a Bowie knife. You know, it's going to be the same thing. No matter what you do, you are wrong, right? Like, you should not have had a Bowie knife. You should not have had a gun, right? It could have been a police officer, and that'll come out later, but people already jumped into the thing. I do it too. I'm like, why are 10 freaking dudes jumping on a dude? Maybe, you know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. But it's like, the whole point is it's the optics, and it's for a reason, right? They're targeting this city. We know the reasons. Right? There's 5 million, 6 million people in that city. Heavy immigrant population. Fear and, you know, Gestapo-like stuff again, you know, and it was like, let's see here. And it's like, oh, that word's too. Okay, pick a better word then. Pick a better word. You're upset about the word, but you're not upset about 10 dudes in masks jumping a dude and taking his life in a country of due process, right? Where he's like a real heavy threat when he's on the ground. There's like 9 dudes stepping on him.
Dude, I literally believe, I'm not joking when I throw this around, it's literally Stockholm Syndrome colliding with Stanford prison experiments. That's all we're witnessing. We're witnessing people who have been trained to fucking obey the dear leader at all costs and be scared subliminally the whole time. And then when people get power trips, they fucking just fall in line. And then they keep excusing it away again. That's literally what we're witnessing.
Yeah. You know, I think a less thought about thing too is, let's say there's 10 guys, I don't know exactly, it looked like about 10, right? I bet you there's 3 dudes in there, minimum, who aren't on board with any of that and just had to work there, right? And they're doing it to get a paycheck. Now, we can talk judgments about that kind of stuff, but those dudes are going home traumatized because they just went to work and get a guy get killed that they were subduing, right? I mean, that's like literal trauma that will reverberate through their communities and their lives for the rest of their life. It could be all of them, right? Maybe one of them or 2 of them are like, that's what they signed up for. And maybe they're living out their already previous PTSD or something, like, who knows, right? But it's like, that stuff reverberates. And we just talk about the incident as if it's just the guy and his family. It's like thousands of people from a thing like that.
Dude, the way people talk about this shit, I swear to God, listening to people rationalize or psychologize or pathologize or try to explain the reasoning behind what we're seeing with our own eyes, I'm literally scared for society, dude, because it just seems like it is what I said. It seems like it's Stockholm colliding with fucking Stanford prison experiments, and most people are not strong thinkers or speakers. And so this stuff is like, this is real shit, dude. This trauma is going to last for a long time.
You guys are talking about trauma, and you're not talking about the law. And I know none of you have worked in law enforcement. You've never had to arrest someone who was violently attacking you in the street or trolling you in the real world, not punching your nose in a virtual clown house room. So it's easy to criticize what's happening. And the truth is, none of this should have ever happened. If we had a small government, there would be no state violence. State violence is because of the borrowing and the spending. They got the funding. No one got the money.
Why do you guys keep voting for
Democrats are saying they want to arrest Noam.
Why do you keep voting for more government then?
It's
Why do you keep
true.
voting for more government?
I'm running against big government. I'm running for small government. Marshall Rankin here wouldn't work on my campaign. He hates my guts, but he does agree with me. So small government is the solution, don't you, Marshall?
I think small government is good, but that's not what the conversation is about.
Typical Marshall statement, changing the topic. We're talking about law enforcement and excessive use of violence. And the truth is, none of you guys have ever arrested somebody and got punched in the face and got upset. We're talking about behavioral human science here. We're talking about herd psychology, and we're talking about the
So why are you
law.
So why are you defending the SS though? Like no matter what you say, you may be right, but why do you keep defending the bad stuff? Like why don't you get real about it? You just sound like a motivated reasoner.
Well, the truth is, I am a libertarian and a contrarian, and you could call me a devil's advocate. If you think I have no value, well, that's just your opinion, isn't it?
You recognize you're a contrarian. That's good though. That's good that you recognize that.
What's up, Marshall?
Hey, bro.
What's your word of the day? Thought of the day? Thought of the 24 hours?
My big thought is I'm finally gonna get all these signs put up and get paid. My small thought is about the storm, and then everything else. But just my general feeling. My view on politics, the way that we've lost our minds. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, like can you hear me? I was making sure I'm coming in.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying, because it's kind of maybe a little spotty, and I gotta go soon, but I do appreciate these rooms. I appreciate the collective of people that are actually like critically thinking and willing to be honest about this stuff. I think it's weird when fucking like couch thinkers, you know, like off the couch philosophers and like political analysts and fucking criminal investigators, all of a sudden they're like, well, you know.
Oh, you're in the matrix.
If they understand the psychology behind a guy wielding a gun, wearing clothes on the streets of an icy city with skin. Tries to fucking justify this shit. And it's just fucking crazy to me. When the more these people talk, the more these people let me know that they're not serious people.
Right, and then the question becomes, what's the motive behind most people? The knee-jerk reaction want to, before they know all of the facts, no matter what, side with the terrified law enforcement who must be fearing for their lives, no matter if they saw the video or not. Right? No matter if they know all the facts. That is the case that you've decided. It could be 100 people on him, and it could be the dude at the fringe of the corner down the street who's the last law enforcement guy, takes his little pea gun and goes pew pew from the name out. Search.
Well, how's this, bro?
Walk around and find out.
Let's think about this really quick, okay? So JD Vance, is he an attorney?
I say that.
What was that? I'm sorry.
I guess you can say that.
Yeah, well, is he? I don't know. Does he have a law degree?
What is he, a young guy? Is he law? I could use law in politics.
Okay, JD Vance is the vice president.
Marshall, you know?
Hold on really quick, this is the only point I'm making. Is a person with that type of thinking prowess comes out publicly within a few hours or whatever and basically lays out that this guy was traumatized from past experience of being drunk by a car, tells you all you need to know about what the fuck's going on, right? Like, I don't even need to break this open for you people.
I just double checked. Yeah,
There's no
He's a Yale JD in law. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So basically, if someone like that educated with critical thinking skills and that much of a podium or a lectern speak to the general public and his constituency, says that shit out loud as if you're supposed to accept that as logical, what the fuck? Who the fuck is he talking to?
Sure.
He's talking to a jury filled with sheep. Our Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, was a lawyer as well and defended some of the most prolific child abuse cases, defended them. People like Jimmy Savile. It's crazy to me that he's actually in power. My mind is blown.
Yeah, I'm always amazed when people like, you know, JD Vances, who are pretty much politicking against Trump, have to suck that all in and then, you know, do the best politically advantageous thing for themselves and pretend like they never stood that way. And basically, to Benjamin's point, have to do the knee pad thing. And now you pretty much have to co-sign him forever until he's dead or out of office, right? And then what happens after? Like, do you become your own self again, or have you paid full price? Did you get the full knee pad set? Like,
Did you guys cover the Jack Smith hearing yesterday at all? Or the day before yesterday? So I watched the whole thing.
Yeah, but before we switch honey badger,
Fucking insane, bro.
Yeah, I just wanted to say to what you said earlier. I mean, I think it's a misanthropic take, but I actually agree with you. And I mean, I think interestingly, that's the positive, that people are pretty predictable. Like, you could raise any particular, you know, current event. You could already determine what a lot of people that we've interacted with are going to land on it. And I think that's a good thing. Because eventually we'll be able to predict the patterns. And actually point to the decision matrix, the particular value or belief that they had that led them to those particular conclusions, and address it.
It's just so fascinating. Here's something, my takeaway, and I'm going to leave you with this because I really do got to go. I'm just going to listen for a little bit. But certain people piss me off, right? And certain people that piss me off, people that are fucking dishonest about logic, and they think you're stupid, because I think, to me, it's an insult, right? I'm like, you're insulting me, dude. You're pretending that I'm supposed to take you seriously when you say this, right? So when I'm watching this, guys that pissed me off on Gardner, because he's one of those good old, you know, he's a family guy. He mentions how him and his 5 children, they just want to be watching a movie or hopefully reading a good book. But then he goes on and he tries to discredit Jack Smith's integrity and his reputation. And he's a Christian man, and he's some fucking, like, conservative. Those smarmy fuckers, dude, are the ones that get me the most. I'm like, fuck you, dude. Jack Smith's a good man. He's doing the right thing. He's actually honest and, like, basically being very consistent in his reasoning. And you come in here, and this is all just a smear campaign. They look like jokers, dude. It's such a disgusting insult to our country right now. This legal system and these people that are supposedly representing what we stand for. It's a fucking joke.
And then, do not charge Trump is the message, right? Or you shall face the wrath. I mean, very authoritative.
Yeah, you kind of knew that was going to happen to him. Like even people that are thinking about running, they still follow the line of fire of Trump's rhetoric and him, you know, trying to discredit them. So we're in a really weird state right now.
I feel like there needs to be like a democratic meeting. Like, okay, everybody who's in politics or assumes any kind of position in the government, let's have a team meeting. Here's the deal. We never resign.
Point of order, moderator. Can I make a point that the attention economy, this is the attention economy, what you guys are doing right now. I could read from the sayings of the Buddha right now, but you probably wouldn't like that because maybe it's not, you know, it's off topic. But in the atheist movement, yeah, I mean, I would ask politely for 60 seconds of your time to change the topic from negativity to positivity.
Let's do it, man. Sounds fun.
Okay, I consider this a meditation. Pick a number 1 through 20. I'll go to that page. This is the sayings of the Buddha.
Gosh. Yeah, because Buddha was very positive the whole time, wasn't he?
Okay, this is old age. You have to look at this as collective consciousness work. If you add to the ether, the situation will resolve. Okay, this is called old age. Can there be joy and laughter when always the world is ablaze, enshrouded in darkness, should you not seek a light? Look at the body adorned, a mass of wounds, draped upon a heap of bones, a sickly thing, this subject of sensual thoughts, neither permanent nor enduring. The body wears out, a nest of disease, fragile, disintegrating, ending in death. What delight is there in seeing the bleached bones like gourds thrown away, dried and scattered in the autumn sun? A citadel is this structure of bones, blood and flesh, within which dwell decay, death, conceit, and malice. The royal chariots surely come to decay, just as the body too comes to decay. But the shining truth and loving kindness live on. So speak the virtuous to the virtuous. The unwise person grows large in body, though he becomes large physically. His mind remains small. How many lives, how many rounds of rebirth have I experienced without finding the builder of this house? Now I see you, oh builder. All of your rafters are broken. Your ridgepole is shattered. Never again need you build a house for me. My mind is gone.
Every day I do that. A total non sequitur is always needed and helpful. I just think one that doesn't connect to anything like that, just put it right in there and let it rip. Do it in that voice every day. It's just sort of like a palate refresh and cleanse. You charge a lot of money. I like positivity, but I'm positive chat. I have the same thing with that. The positivity was losing from that. So I guess I picked the wrong page. Sorry for that. Page 17 would have been better. That's what was calling them. That didn't sparkle. 11 dance floor. Anyways.
Well, the tragedy is you guys will never get, you guys just got the potatoes. You didn't even get to the meat. I guess that's what atheist vegans do. They never taste the meat of wisdom. That's all I'm trying to say.
They have the meat at the beginning and then the nonsense at the end. I mean,
Well, I thank you for your 60 seconds of your undivided attention. I know attention deficit disorder is an epidemic. Well, that's too bad you don't like the sayings of the Buddha, but that's not a me problem. That's a you problem. You don't like my information transferred through this conference call. Hello? Hello?
You're not like your voice is irritating. So for you to say it, that's not common.
Had you kept it to 60 seconds, it would have been one thing. But I think counting is not one of your skills.
yeah, but he's a contrarian, you know. He's a nice guy who's horrible.
A contrarian, libertarian. How far can you go? Authoritarian, I can't think of more shit.
The girl is also librarian.
There you go.
But we love you, John Kitover.
No, we don't.
We're thankful.
Listen, all I can say is when you guys have, if there's ever a funeral party for me, there are going to be people that fucking are so happy that I've kicked rocks. But there are going to be other people who have a big smile because I gave them big smiles with my content of contentment.
Was this pretty intense movie recently or something? Like, what that's the ending of The Stranger? I mean, I think retarded.
Have you ever considered the £100 that was donated to your bank account was shut up money?
Have you ever considered that some people are betting on my success and I have bet on other people's success in life and I have come out on top? I voted for Trump 3 times and look what's happening. We are deporting the largest illegal alien invasion of a country in human history. It's going to take a lot of money and manpower to get this job done.
That's not even true. They're not even doing a good job at it. It's going to take a lot of money if he keeps exporting immigrants to all the jobs that he's making.
You see, I would vote for a government where Roivas was president and Honey was vice president, and they could pick their cabinet.
What's the name? What would be the czar of only in America of tax czar? Yeah.
Well, many of you know that I believe all communication is hypnosis. But does anyone here believe in suggestion or Pavlovian psychology? Meaning that if I just keep conditioning you, eventually I'll win you over.
John, could you do your bit? Do the say the words you usually say. Can you start doing that? Like that now. Do the thing, the hypnosis bit. That's really funny.
Yeah.
I haven't heard it in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, we're all awake. Be good to put us to sleep.
Yeah, I need to put in a hypnagogic state.
The voice, you gotta take some voice lessons or something, man. That voice, it's a lot.
Hey, Tom, can you really modulate your voice really high? Everyone loves how annoying that is. That's really great.
My name is John Kitover. It's very special. I love that.
That was fun.
How was being an internet celebrity working out for you, John?
Start roasting John. Having
We love John. We love John, but we don't like green eggs and ham.
I just start do my own clown rooms, starring John Kitover, and just mock him and like him.
You know what I think is really funny is that when the roast of John Kitover starts, that's when the party begins.
In the clown sense, really, people look at clowns. And everybody look at clowns. And clowns love the attention regardless. So it's like Steve, whoever this guy's name is, it's the same kind of animal. We should really excuse him.
That's a really good point, though.
For all of us.
That's a really good point, Hero, because I think John would get more support from his voters if he was to wear clown makeup. You know, they would probably go, oh, that's what it's all about. And then they'd vote for you.
Is it fraud? If you're really trying to win, but you're like getting soliciting funds from people? I mean, it's a whole game, just like there's always going to be those stupid people that give me some money. I'm never going to win anything. Might not even be able to get it right in. You can't possibly win anything. But what, you get some old ladies that give you a few bucks here and there?
Well, if you want to commit fraud the legal way, the best thing to do is to start up a church and become a televangelist. I think that's the best way. Do you know, we might do, let's do that.
See, I have listened to so much Richard Dawkins and Charles Hitchens, and I agree with everything they say, but when I pick up the Quran or I pick up the Bhagavad Gita, Christopher Hitchens, the point is I agree with them in the moment. I agree with their opinions in the moment, but when I read other books, I like it. I just consider myself in the book club. That's my that's my contribution today to the atheist movement. I still like books, everybody. I'm in the book club. I'm in the book club, baby.
You're an idiot who lives in the suburbs of Chicago. You're an idiot. Okay? You're illiterate. So why are you reading?
See, I believe in projection, and that's your projection. My projection is books. I read to you from the sayings of the Buddha. That was my contribution to the room. I am now complete.
Esoteric trash, and you think it's profound. It's not. It's dumb shit I was into when I was like 16 years old, dude.
That's just like your opinion, sir.
Korean? Okay. I just want to know if y'all ever contributions per se.
You know, I did enjoy it a little bit. You know, there was some really funny bits in there.
Small doses, small doses, like micro doses.
How did you get through like this enigma? I mean, just the tediousness of it. I mean, I'm tired of hearing about the polytheists and the unbelievers.
Yes.
for the
Yes.
3 billionth time.
The repetition is problematic, but they did have some very good stuff in there, like if you want to find out who murdered someone, cut up a yellow cow,
You whack 'em with it,
the appendages.
You go to the butcher, get a cow leg, and then he goes, "Oh, he would murder me." Oh, and he dies again.
That's it. Yeah.
It's real creative shit there. Now, I've read Dostoevsky, fucking Nabokov, all sorts of stuff. But the Quran, so creative, so genius. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
How would a human being ever come up with that, Miss Enigma?
Did you know what? It wasn't there, was it? It was the angel Jabril. We have to recognise the angel Jabril.
He was a thing, right? Yeah, no, yeah.
I mean, he's out here like handing out like power weight belts. He's just changing your name. You just get your name changed, and you start a whole nation. It's fucking that powerful angel. Maybe okay, Yaakov to Israel. Anybody? No. All right. Also, for the record, in case anyone else heard my Keurig in the background, that was coffee. It wasn't me being just. I lost track there. Were we talking about Islam or Mormonism?
No. Okay, hold on. Book of Mormon or the Quran? Can we vote which is more terribly written? I think the Quran beats the Book of Mormon. To be honest.
Oh, I don't know. No, they're both equally xenophobic. Yeah.
No, they are. They're both. Yeah, but the Book of Mormon is like straight up racist against white.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. But it's mostly against the Book of Mormon. Well, the Book of Mormon is mostly about these two, what are they again, Mr. Nigma? The fucking family and the two, they fight, and one's good and one's bad. And then Jesus shows up at the end and does nothing. It's the most uninteresting appearance of a Messiah. It's like, what is going on?
Yeah, the seraphim, the cherubim. It's quite funny, to be honest with you. We must remember that black people were created from the darkness and white people were created from the light.
That's right. Wait, Jesus shows up and everybody's like, right, keep that philosophy. This is why, Mr. Enigma, that white people invented all the greatest music, especially in the United States. So blues, jazz, and rock and roll. I mean, have you ever seen Back to the Future? Did you see where Michael J. Fox invented rock and roll and Chuck Berry's cousin overheard it and then Chuck Berry was like, "Oh, isn't that the most offensive scene in a movie you've ever seen in your life?"
Yeah.
When you think about that, and I was watching that, I was like, "Wow, that's rough right there." The whitewashing has been going on from the beginning. You know this. And they're doing it now in textbooks. And so I think I started my Taylor Branch Civil Rights Movement trilogy. Like each book's 1,000 pages. I'm like, no, I think I need to read this now.
So basically, Mormonism and Islam are pretty much the same. Both prophets were visited by an angel, the angel Jabril, and then Mormonism, the word that proceeds out of the mouth of Yah.
Okay, Rabbanu Shalom, we've done it again. Get cocking. This is your Shabbos Goy for this Shabbos. B'nai Shalom. The New World Order just showed up. Oh, look who it is. It's I Am. It's the mirror. Hello. I am peaceful. Welcome, Grace, to another exciting episode of the Jewish Complaint Department. This will be a quick session to collect as many complaints as possible. A lot of ICE complaints happening right now.
Why aren't they coming?
Do not come. Do not come. Yet, but soon, the ICE complainers will come. I am sure of it. There's a lot of complaints happening right now. We've got a 24-minute hard out and an easy in. This is ICE.
We cannot and we will not give them what they want by meeting violence with violence. Minnesota and our local law enforcement, as you have seen, have done everything possible to de-escalate. Local media has reported extensively on the cooperation to de-escalate this situation. Donald Trump, I call on you once again. Remove this force from Minnesota.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Fight!
And again. But in contrast to that, on these frozen streets, what you witnessed yesterday was the best of Minnesotans, peacefully exercising their First Amendment rights. And I attended in the church basement hundreds of Minnesotans from all faiths packing care packages for families that have been ripped apart. Despite the horrific acts by this federal government, Minnesotans are standing up for the rule of law. They're protesting loudly and urgently, but peacefully. It must stay that way, Minnesota.
It must stay that way.
And we're creating a log of evidence for the future prosecution of ICE agents and officials responsible for this. Their neighbors.
Prosecution?
They're feeding families.
For enforcing the law?
Their courage and their restraint.
Well, I just want to quote Marshall Rankin. You got to change your rules,
This
Tim.
state is exhibiting and the horrific cruelty, unprofessional, absolute abomination.
Abominable!
Abomination!